that it is obvious that His Excellency the President has breached the Constitution, and we will advise ourselves. In the coming days, don't be surprised that we will begin impeachment proceedings against the President. Thank you very much.
What are we seeing here? What is going on in Ghana Parliament? Extreme action taken by the Speaker to protect the Constitution of Ghana. The President of Ghana, Akufo-Addo, is taking a playbook straight out of the Biden administration. He's packing the courts, he's packing the system with woke puppets that are pandering to the West. In a move to sidestep Parliament, this goes way back, ladies and gentlemen, way back. And this video goes way back, like to 2011, before Sam George was even a PM. This might be the most information that you have on the whole topic together as a whole. So be sure to watch it throughout, like and subscribe, please. In a move to sidestep Parliament, the majority rule, Nano Akufo-Addo is now being called out by people of Ghana, as well as the Speaker of Parliament and the members of Parliament themselves. A puppet leader move indeed by a soon-to-be impeached President of Ghana. This would be expected from Tinubu of Africa. And then, of course, you have to wonder about the elections and the electronic votes and the mail-in votes of the ballots in Ghana in November, but the immediate urgency right now is on the Anti-LGBTQ bill, written by the Honorable PM Sam George and passed by Parliament in an overwhelming majority vote. The President is just supposed to sign it, or veto it, or sign it or reject it, and move forward, which he did neither. So the question that needs to be asked right now, and is being asked, who's got them in their pockets? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this video is going to go far back, and you're going to understand a lot about Nano Akufo-Addo and Sam George by the time you're done watching this. You might want to grab a drink for this.
The President's refusal to accept the transmission of the bill is, by all accounts, not supported by the Constitutional. The refusal to even accept the bill for consideration falls outside the legal bounds established by our constitutional framework. The power of the people is stronger than the people in power. Robson, honorable member, I'm watching you. And I hear what you say. And follow it with an application for injunction. And that is enough to injunct Parliament from proceeding with the consideration of the business in the House. And may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
He has proceeded to adjourn the House, seal it in. No government business is going to be done today. The House has adjourned. This is so irregular. Normally, some key government business would have been done. But because of this, the Speaker of Parliament has decided that the House is adjourned for Easter break. They are unable to proceed and do any government business, and this has really set the House on fire, where a lot of government business outstanding, more than 22 nominees of President Akufo-Addo said to be discussed.
There's a problem in the government right now. There's a problem with the system. It's not the people that are walking out that the problem are either. They're the ones stopping it.
That has been the mood in the House. The Speaker of Parliament
good for them
that the House is not going to transact any key business before the House adjourns.
This is how you fight. This is it. This is how you fight against
you can see them
corrupted system.
Each other, because this is something that they've always asked for. They say that if the President will not respect the authority of Parliament, then they will also not respect the authority of the executive. And by virtue of the President's decision to, as it were, not accept the controversial anti-LGBTQ bill, the Speaker of Parliament has proceeded to adjourn Parliament indefinitely. The House is going on Easter break.
Wow.
Some key government business were expected to be done today in the House, including the approval of some $150 million in loans to support the 2024 budget.
More on this later, but let's take you back to Parliament because there's the reactions to the Speaker's action.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to cut in real quick here, okay? I'm going to make it short and sweet. This video that you're going to be watching here, this is the most recent events of it all. This is the most recent. We are going to take you back to a time all the way back to 2011. We have actual footage of how this whole thing went down and what this parliament is concerned about. And they are legitimate concerns. I think they are. What say you? But we're going to keep on going through this, but hang in there, because once we're done with this video, you want to know the information. You want this information, especially if you're in Africa, if you're in Ghana or around that area, just to know what is going on and how this is all infiltrated and taken place into the system. It gets pretty deep here, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. We're going to keep going forward, right? Like and subscribe, please.
Has started. The minority is already addressing the news conference there. Let's take it back to Parliament.
Of the office of the president. The Constitution of Ghana spells out in plain language when the President of the Republic of Ghana must do when Parliament passes a bill and present to His Excellency the President. The President must assent to the bill or must refuse to assent to the bill when it is presented to him as the President of the Republic. These are the only options, and in this case, there is no middle ground at all per the constitutional imperative. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also say that in the instance case of the Human Sexual Right and Family Values Bill 2024, President Akufo-Addo has taken a strange and alien position, which is unknown to the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. We in the NDC minority is ready to protect the sanctity of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And we stand with the Speaker of Parliament in this. Let the President of Ghana and his government be aware that where this country is going is strange under his watch. And the NDC minority will not countenance it. But I want to urge that it is obvious that His Excellency the President has breached the Constitution, and we will advise ourselves. In the coming days, don't be surprised that we will begin impeachment proceedings against the President. Thank you very much.
When it comes to your country's constitution, you protect it at all costs. Even if this was an no allowing dogs out on Monday night past 8 bill, you still protect the Constitution at all costs. The president was supposed to follow instructions and do his job, and now we're seeing something totally different. And another thing that I need to bring up before I even watched the next part of this video, the thoughts that were going through my head is Ghana has got to be very careful right now with election interference. 100%. 100%. And the next piece of video I watch is about election interference. And when you're talking about everything that's been going on, United States accusing Russia of election interference, Russia accusing the United States, and the United States people accusing the United States of election interference. Nigeria, big time question there. Bazoum, who just got ousted because of probably election interference. Now we're wondering what is going to happen in Ghana, because if the computers get infiltrated and the systems go down, the way that Akufo is playing this right now is that something behind the scenes is opting him to not respond to this bill. Just a theory that I'm putting out there, and I would like to hear I'd like to hear your opinions on it. We're going to keep going further.
The Electoral Commission confirms that 7 of the biometric devices are indeed missing. I urge the CIA and the Ghana Police Service to immediately issue a statement giving us the details of their investigation so far. I'm concerned and worried because that devices in the hands of an unknown person can compromise the future elections that Ghana will have. Who knows whether this is in the hands of a political party, and who knows what that political party is doing with it. I am disturbed, and it brings to bear a number of concerns: the safety and the storage of this important.
Now, the Electoral Commission is fighting these allegations. Deputy Chairman of the Commission, Dr. Bosman Asare, at a news conference clarified only 5 laptops were stolen and that all biometric machines were safe in the keep of the Commission.
We had a meeting with the leadership of Parliament yesterday, made up of the majority and the minority. It was in that meeting we made it clear to them that 5 of our laptops are missing. We didn't say at the meeting that BVDs were missing. Neither did we say BVRs were missing. We said 5 laptops. And these 5 laptops do not contain any information of voters. It doesn't contain any information of voters. They are laptops, just as we know laptops, what they do. We are not planning to undertake. And indeed, we've just explained, and my colleague stressed, that 5 laptops are missing. We are working with the security agencies to arrest and prosecute the suspects. Again, we are also hearing people saying that how secured are your systems? Especially so because we have many security personnel, police personnel around. How did these things happen? Again, we want to assure each and every one here and the good people of our country that our systems are secured. Our systems are very, very robust. And as I indicated earlier, we are so robust to the extent that we are convinced that in 2024, come December 7th, we are going to organize another perhaps transparent, credible elections, which will go down as one of the best in our country.
Now, we have no reason to doubt the man, what he said, 5 laptops were stolen. But remember, I don't know if you guys are running on Dominion over there in Africa, but it's the Dominion system that's screwed up in America. A lot of questions were asked about the system being infiltrated. Now, you can do that with literally a cell phone. So 5 laptops being taken are a huge concern. Would I use the same laptops if I brought them back for the election? I'd burn them. I would burn them, and I would be keeping an eye on my elections because it sounds like Ghana is trying to avoid, of course, the man's trying to avoid chaos in case their man doesn't win, or anybody who doesn't win. Hopefully the right man gets the job here. But we're going to go back now. We're going back into time where all this started. We're going to start with a more recent clip, and then we're going to head back into the past. Got to see this. You got to see this.
Uganda passed a law last year that punishes LGBTQ with death. Now, this is what the press statement from the IMF says. March 6, 2024. The Executive Board of the IMF concluded today the 5th review of Uganda's extended credit facility. This completion enables the immediate disbursement of the equivalent of special drawing rights, that's SDR, 90.25 million, about 120 million US dollars. Just on the 6th, last Wednesday, this past Wednesday, Uganda has been disbursed $120 million.
And you said this was on the 6th of March?
6th of March.
I see. We are begging.
We are begging because even at a time where our central bank declared bankruptcy, literally declared bankruptcy, where Ghana as a state is bankrupt, we are not paying any of our external obligations. We are asking foreign lenders to Ghana to take haircuts. We've given haircuts to pensioners in Ghana. The Bank of Ghana has made a loss of 60 billion, unheard of in the history of Ghana. At that time, the Office of the President has increased the budget allocation to the Office of the President. So it is the irresponsibility of the leaders of our country. When the President and his vice are living like Arabian knights and kings, and leaving the rest of the population to run on a shoestring budget. There is austerity. They are cutting the budget of ministries that provide social services to the people of Ghana. But the Office of Government Machinery has increased its budget. You must begin to question where the problem is. Is our problem really the IMF or the people who are leading us?
Well, the IMF is saying that, well, for as long as we continue to rely on them for help, their internal policies prohibit discrimination based on personal characteristics, including but not limited to gender expression, or sexual orientation.
And I've said to you, with all of this same thing, they've just released $120 million to Uganda. So except the people who are interfacing with the IMF on behalf of Ghana, actually the ones pushing this gay agenda, the IMF will respect the sovereignty of a state. Because, and look, with the greatest of respect to Uganda, when it comes to the Committee of Nations, and when you come to Africa as a continent, and you want to talk of countries that play a lead role, that are important in international relations and international conversations, Ghana plays a leading role than Uganda. Ghana is more at the forefront than Uganda. And listen, the West needs Ghana.
The West needs Ghana.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, and I have made this point. When the American ambassador, Virginia Palmer, makes the case she makes, I make the simple point that any American business operating in Ghana today is not doing so because of LGBTQ. They are doing so because they are making a profit. And they would not leave Ghana because of LGBTQ when they look at their profit margin. And if they choose to pack bag and baggage and leave, another company will come in and make that profit. Ghana is a profitable country to do business in. And so we must stop cheapening ourselves and making it look like we have no sense of self-worth. And that's why I question the president's circle of friends. Because the president said he's assuring Ghana's friends. Well, they are not Ghana's friends. They are his friends.
Honestly. If the IMF has to take any decision at all when it comes to this anti-LGBTQ plus bill, which you, members of parliament, have passed into
keep
law,
riding.
It should be targeted at you, the MPs, for taking this decision. You should bear the brunt of whatever sanctions they would slap on Ghana because of that decision that you took.
I speak for myself. I don't care.
You don't care?
And I've said it. Look, and I've said it.
You're ready to bear the brunt and the action?
If any country leads a sanction on the speaker or myself or the sponsors, I would wage a campaign in this country against all their business interests. And don't underestimate the power of the forces of Ghanaians when we say we will shut down those businesses. It is, look, if they want to threaten us, we will issue threats. And I'm issuing that on your platform. If they touch the speaker or any member of parliament, we will come after their business interest in Ghana.
It says your ex gratia should be withheld. That's one of the issues that should be of concern to the Ghanaian people.
Ex gratia, you see, and someone respected senior like Kwame Penim should know that this conversation of ex gratia is a whole conversation.
You probably going to be bearing the consequence of some of the decisions that may be taken because of your stance.
Let me state this here and now and end this conversation once and for all. This is not a political issue. It's about my children.
It has political.
No. Wait, no. The suggestion is that I should think about John Mahama, by God's grace, will be the president in 2025. John Mahama has at least on 4 public occasions stated that he does not believe in rights for LGBTQ, or he does not believe in LGBTQ rights as a universal right, and that our society is, the Ghanaian people are against it. As a leader, I would expect him to walk his talk as president of Ghana in 2025.
You expect him to walk his talk?
Absolutely. I mean, and I would demand same of him. The same way I'm demanding of President Akufo-Addo, I would demand same of him. That legislation will stand. I would oppose any decision by a future NDC government to say they are going to walk back this act. I will fight it. Because, like I said, it's about our cultural heritage and the innocence of my children and Ghanaian children. And the innocence of my children will not be.
Now we're going to come back to that one, because when Sam George just said it's about the innocence of my children, does he really mean that, or is this a political ploy of Sam George? Well, we've got history backing up his words right there. Much history. And also history on a few of the other things he's about to talk about now. And this is where the rubber meets the road, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready.
And the innocence of my children and Ghanaian children, and the innocence of my children will not be mortgaged for any political party. And like I said, President Mahama on his own has spoken. We've not heard from Dr. Bawumia, so I can't say what his position is. But I've heard, and that's why a lot of people are holding President Akufo-Addo to his word. President Akufo-Addo has spoken at the Anglican Church, where he said it will not happen under his watch. So people are expecting you to walk your talk. Leadership is about walking your talk. I've seen people circulate a video from 2013 of myself talking about rights. They cut a video. It's a full 47 minutes interview on what was Minority Caucus at the time. And on that same platform, I stated clearly that homosexuality is a mental aberration of the highest order. And questioned at the time President Akufo-Addo who at the time had not spoken about his sexuality, and said he should speak about his sexuality. And again in 2013, you did not have people opening an advocacy office for LGBTQ rights. So the situation then and now are not the same.
So essentially what you're saying is what happens in the...
And here we go. You ready for this? What he just said. In 2013, I said this, I said this, I said this. Let's take a look. Sam George, before he was even MP in 2013. And Akufo-Addo, things that he did around the same time. This is interesting and tells us a lot. So just to see this first piece, the man calls him many things, but he doesn't call him a politician. So we're seeing Sam George's heart on this issue in 2013, before he even cared about politics. So finding the heart on somebody is kind of important, and I think that that one little clip.
For tonight, to help me with the discussion, I want to call him a resident pastoral analyst. He's the man of God when it comes to political analysis, socio-political and religious analysis of issues. And so tonight I have been joined by Mr. Samuel George. He's a member of the government communication team. He's also an IT specialist. Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel George.
Thank you, Ali Dawood. It's interesting to know that I'm now a pastoral
resident analyst. But George, let's be fair. Okay.
Ali, when Prime Minister David Cameron of the United Kingdom passed comments to the effect that the UK was going to be withdrawing aid to third world countries and African nations which did not seem to legitimize homosexuality.
Yeah.
The then president, of blessed memory, His Excellency John Evans Fifi Mills, may so rest in peace, came out categorically and stated government's position at that time that the UK could take its money.
Yes.
We will keep our culture and what is our heritage.
President Atta Mills was forthright in his reaction to a purported statement by the British Premier David Cameron that Britain may consider cutting aid to Ghana if Ghana fails to legalize homosexuality.
Let me make one thing very clear. No one can deny Prime Minister Cameron his right to make policies, take initiatives, or make statements that reflect his societal norms and ideals. But he does not have the right to direct other sovereign nations as to what they should do, especially where their societal norms and ideals are different from those which exist in Prime Minister Cameron's society. I, as president of this nation, will never initiate or support any attempts to legalize homosexuality in Ghana. As a government, we will abide by the principles enshrined in our constitution, which constitution is supreme. Let me also say that whilst we acknowledge all the financial assistance and all the aid which has been given to us by our development partners, we will not accept any aid with strings attached if that aid will not inure to our interest, or the implementation or the utilization of that aid with strings attached would rather worsen our plight as a nation or destroy the very society that we want to use the money to improve.
He took a point. He stood his ground. This is who he is. This is what he does, and this is how he believes. And he is not going to be a puppet, is what he's saying. So what Sam George spoke, I'm reiterating, and you're seeing that it's fact. So after this statement, what did Nano Akufo-Addo do? Sam George tells us, 2013.
and our pride. We will not legitimize homosexuality. That position was a position of government, of which President John Dramani Mahama was a part of. At that point in time, in less than 7 days after His Excellency made that statement, you had the then leader and still leader of the largest opposition in this party, Nano Akufo-Addo, jet off from Accra to UK to go and have a photo ops session
with the Prime Minister.
Henceforth, how puppets are made. This is the photo op that Sam George is talking about. And if you look at the date, it's 2011. I mean, to me, it's blatant in your face that, hey, I'll be your puppet. I'm coming over to talk to you. Get me in office. Let's read what this Facebook page said. Nano Akufo-Addo, November 2015-2011, with Prime Minister David Cameron on 10 Downing Street, London, after 20-30 minutes meeting on 10 November 2011. On the issue of linking the promotion of gay rights to British development assistance, I told British Prime Minister that his statement did not go down well with Ghanaian public. How would it not go down with the Ghanaian public, but it's going down okay with you? Akufo-Addo. Interesting. You're making some friends, huh? Looks like it. I told British Prime Minister that his statement did not go down well with Ghanaian public, who saw it as an affront to their social values. I therefore cautioned that I think he should be careful not to be seen to be imposing British values on another sovereign state. In response, Prime Minister David Cameron showed appreciation to the sentiments I expressed on the behalf of Ghanaians. He didn't express nothing on behalf of Ghanaians. You went to go make a friend. You went to go get some strings attached to your arms and your mouth and your brain. And that's just my thought. But anyway, Sam George is right. Akufo-Addo did go looking like behind Ghanaians' back. Intrigue us further, Sam George.
What was the message he was passing? I support you and don't mind those guys. I will work with you. Till date, Nano Akufo-Addo has not come out to state his position on homosexuality.
Till date, he hasn't come out? Well, I thought he did. Hold on one second. This is how a leader comes out.
Do you personally dislike homosexuals?
Of course, they are disgusting. What sort of people are they? How can you go...
Wait, that's not Akufo-Addo. That's another leader that came out. So let's go to a more recent date where Akufo-Addo came out and literally dodged the question from the West when Kamala Harris was standing next to him.
What have you said to the president and plan to say to other leaders on this trip about the crackdown on human rights?
I'll start.
But notice, when Kamala talked, she made at least she was straight up and made her point blatant. This is where I stand. Akufo-Addo, nothing. It was weird. Like, in the point to, this woman has me in her back pocket, and I don't want to say anything to make her angry, like Museveni did, like a real leader did.
I have raised this issue, and let me be clear about where we stand. First of all, for the American press who are here, you know that a great deal of work in my career has been to address human rights issues, equality issues across the board, including as it relates to the LGBT community. And I feel very strongly about the importance of supporting the freedom and supporting and fighting for equality among all people, and that all people be treated equally. I will also say that this is an issue that we consider, and I consider, to be a human rights issue, and that will not change.
Yes. What's the name?
Kano Youngs of the New York Times.
Zolan. Ms. Young, so thank you for the question. First of all, we don't have any such legislation here in Ghana. A bill has been proposed to the Parliament of Ghana, which has all kinds of ramifications, which is now being considered by the Parliament. It hasn't been passed, So the statement that there is legislation in Ghana to that effect is not accurate. No legislation. The bill is going through the Parliament. It's going through the Parliament. The Attorney General has found it necessary to speak to the committee about it regarding the constitutionality or otherwise of several of its provisions, and the Parliament is dealing with it. At the end of the process, I will come in. But in the meantime, the Parliament is dealing with it. And I have no doubt that the Parliament of Ghana will show, as it has done in the past, first of all, its sensitivity to human rights issues, as well as to the feelings of our population, and will come out with a responsible response to the proposed. The legislation was a legislation that is being provided as a private member's bill. This is not an official legislation of the government, but it is one that has been mooted by a handful of private members. So we will see what the final outcome of it. But my understanding from the recent discussion I had with the committee, the substantial elements of the bill have already been modified as a result of the intervention of the Attorney General. We will see what the final outcome will be, and that is the stage at which I will also have the opportunity to prevent.
Puppet, come on. It doesn't get no more clear than this. Ladies and gentlemen, it does not get any more clear than what we've seen take progress from 2011 up until this point. If a pie was shoved in your face, this would be the pie that you needed to say, okay, it's a pie in my face. We understand where he's coming from. Now, we're going to go back. Hold on. We're not done. We're going back because Sam George basically prophesied this in 2013, and it was more than just prophecy. It was super unnatural. It was supernatural. Okay, that's how we get the supernatural. He put his super on our natural, but let's keep going because this right here is where Ghana's going right now. Like it or not, but let's take the history and learn from it. Sam George once again.
This is clearly a calculated attempt to turn the tables around. But His Excellency on Thursday, before he traveled, Thursday last week, at the ceremony to mark the relocation of the presidency from the Osu Castle to the Flagstaff House, he stated categorically that he would never support the legalization of homosexuality in Ghana. He has stated that, and it is on record. The tapes are there. The media has seen it. Nano Akufo-Addo, I still ask you, what is your stance on homosexuality? We can't tell.
I have said this before, and let me in conclusion stress again that it will not be under the presidency of Nano Akufo-Addo that same-sex marriage will be legal. That same-sex marriage will be legalized in Ghana. It will never happen in my time as president. Let me repeat, it will never happen in my time as president.
So as we see him stating it there in public, as Sam George just explained, he did say, we give credit to Akufo-Addo, he did say it will not happen under my time as president. So who's the other guy he's got running for president with him right now? Is he being planted in to go against the Ghanaian people's will? I don't want to say he's a puppet, but he's pretty dang close. Let's keep going.
They argue that the party issued a communique at that time to distance itself from any act of homosexuality and support the call not to legitimize the act. And so by extension, once he's a member of the MPP, if MPP has issued a statement, it should benefit Akufo-Addo.
We're not asking the
as
NPP.
an individual hasn't.
We're not asking the MPP. We're asking Mr. William Akufo-Addo. Okay. And you see, one thing we should also know is press releases from the NPP should be treated with the contempt they deserve. The NPP issued a press statement condemning Honorable Kennedy Japan. 24 hours after issuing that statement, they organized a victory reception for him at their party headquarters.
A jamboree.
A jamboree. They lifted and carried the man from the Supreme Court to their office, to the national office. They issued a statement.
Yes.
So it tells you the value of their statements. Okay. If in one breath in their statement they are condemning him, but their actions are supporting him.
Okay.
Where does that leave us? You see, and that is why people will say, if they've issued such a statement, you ask yourself, you say that the president is supporting gays because he has a friend in the country which is over 4,000 miles away from here, Andrew Solomons, who he has a professional relationship with, because Andrew Solomons is a publisher who helped with contacts for publishing the president's first book, My First Coup d'etat.
Yes.
Then I would extend that logic to Nano Akufo-Addo and ask questions of individuals of whom we have heard such stories about, who have not come out to clear the air,
such
who work very closely, are not 4,000 miles away, who do not have a professional relationship with him, but a personal relationship with Nano Akufo-Addo.
Very close.
Very close. One of them we have heard questions about. People like Lord Comey. He has still not, I've not said he is homosexual.
Okay.
Let me clear the air.
He hasn't
but no, we have heard rumors of stories, and there has been no categorical statement to debunk those stories.
Okay.
People like Nana Kumia, people have asked questions about his orientation.
Anytime of homosexuality,
people have asked questions about his orientation. And you see, they say when dry bones are mentioned, old ladies cringe. When people want to link the president with homosexuality, they should be very careful.
Okay.
When you have skeletons in your cupboard.
Some George.
Yes. And so for me, once again, these are people who questions have been raised about their sexual orientations. We have not gotten clarity as to what those issues are. I would wish that subsequent to this program, they will come out and clear what their orientations are. But these are people who have close relationships with Nano. Why aren't you making that an issue? Okay? For me, look, I have a personal position. And my position is homosexuality is a colossal aberration of anybody's mental capacity. I do not see why any sane human being who is a man will want to leave the natural orifices God has created for procreation and want to indulge in what is an act which is worse than bestiality.
Okay.
That is where we are sending we are taking away the innocence of the unborn generation. Where right now 4-year-olds are asking you, Mommy, am I gay or straight?
Oh no, that is what.
That is what we are taking our children to.
We end tonight's discussion, but trust me,
because like I said, it's about our cultural heritage and the innocence of my children and Ghanaian children. And the innocence of my children will not be mortgaged for any political party. Another thing that worries me is we are corrupting the innocence of children in this country. We're corrupting the innocence of children in this country. I've seen people circulate a video from 2013 of myself talking about rights. They cut a video. It's a full 47 minutes interview on what was Minority Caucus at the time. And on that same platform, I stated clearly that homosexuality is a mental aberration of the highest order. For me, look, I have a personal position. And my position is homosexuality is a colossal aberration of anybody's mental capacity. And questioned at the time President Akufo-Addo, who at the time had not spoken about his sexuality. Nano Akufo-Addo, I still ask you, what is your stance on homosexuality?
I hope that this information finds somebody and finds them well. Hope you like and subscribe. Click the notification button so when I get information out, you can get information in. I want to thank you all for watching. The number one leader over Africa is God. He put his super on our natural, and I bless you with that. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you again for watching. Like, subscribe. Lots of love. One love. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.